Hey Kelly, how are you doing today?
Hey, good to see you
It's
again.
good to see you. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
So before we start this meeting, I want to give you this,
Yeah.
just for later, business card.
Cool.
So, we had this meeting. You said we had about 20 minutes to talk. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
Awesome. So I know, this is between us, but did you want to bring anyone else in to take a look at what we're talking about today?
I think today it'll be just me. I'll have to go through some other people. If we continue down this road.
Great. Perfect. Sweet. And before you start, do you mind if I take notes?
No, go ahead.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate that. So last time we talked and we met was at the UGA Energy Symposium. You got to talk to me a little bit about what you do or for APC, and I told you a little bit what I do for Salesforce. And you had mentioned that you were having some concerns and that you might be running into some obstacles, is that correct?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of growth, and we're starting to look into some proactive solutions for some things we're struggling with.
Great, sweet. So, like I said, I came in and I wanted to go over kind of some of those solutions that Salesforce might be able to offer to you at APC. Some of the things that I wanted to talk about today were storage space for data, project tracking, and efficiency with manual, or inefficiencies that come along with manual updating. Do you think you guys have problems in some of those areas?
Yeah, I would say so. Those are some things that we see becoming problems with our level of growth.
Great. First, I kind of wanted to look at, so I noticed that you guys did $98 billion in sales in 2017,
Yep.
$109 billion in 2018, so that's awesome. And your forecast for a 4 to 6% growth in the next couple of years, so that's awesome. So that's, all great. You guys have markets in the major continents, is that correct?
Yeah, we're on all major continents.
Cool, and you have business clients with both the private sector and governments, and cool. So looking at your sales structure, I see that you guys have, a VP of sales, and then you have senior sales, and then it divides down regionally, and then into, those sales people per region. Is that correct? How your sales team works?
Yep.
Awesome, sweet. So going right into it, I wanted to talk about first, storage space. I got to talk to Justin in IT. I know that he, brought up concerns with, rapid growth, that you guys are going to have a lot more data coming in, and even, from 2017 to 2018, there were some bumps, and, looking forward in the next 4 years with that growth, that you guys might be running into problems with increased data and trying to house all that. Have you run into any problems with that, or do you see that as an issue going
Yeah,
forward?
no, we've had to upgrade our in-house server a couple times, and there's always some lag when you're turning over systems like that.
Sure, yeah. So something that Salesforce offers is we're a cloud-based service, so we can take all that data instead of you guys having to worry about holding it, storing it. We put it in our cloud, and you guys can access it at any time. So rather than having to limit yourself, you guys can bring in all the data you need and just access it whenever you want. So that's awesome to have when you guys are growing at a rate like that. Something else is, I noticed since you guys have markets globally, and you have headquarters that span across the globe, that they're going to want to be able to access those same reports. And so the cloud-based service allows someone here in the United States, someone in Canada, someone in Saudi Arabia to access the same information instantaneously. So that's something that could be very useful for you guys. Do you think that it might help to switch over to?
No, I mean, with this level of growth, that's definitely a concern, and we've had to upgrade our servers already several times in the past 2 years. So I do like switching to the cloud-based storage. That's something that Justin has brought to my attention that we're definitely interested in.
Awesome, great. And then something that we we see in businesses like yours that are so specialized. We know that you work on very specific projects. That project tracking can be an issue. You have a lot of moving parts, both a lot of moving parts going on. So you want to be able to track those so that you guys can make necessary adjustments on demand. So if something's happening across the world, you want to be able to know real time so that you guys can, either change up what's going on, or if you need to, green light it, you can do it, pretty on demand. So something I wanted to show you that we have with Salesforce is we have our dashboard, which shows you can access, like I said, you can access those sales reports instantaneously. So something that, someone puts in on the other side of the world, you're gonna get, you can just come over here, you access those same reports and it's sent out. So you're gonna get that instantaneous data access. Another thing, like I said, we're talking about project tracking, so you can look at, stages of what's going on as people update it. You're gonna be able to know real time, and you're gonna be able to see, where you are on the project and see if it's happening in the time frame that you want. If you guys need to speed things up, and yeah, so that's something if you want to play around with that and check out those reports. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, how customizable is this system? Can we kind of tailor it to our needs?
It's very customizable. You can adjust it to your specifications. Like I said, I know you guys are working in a specialized industry, so you can tailor it to whether you're looking at, you can figure out who's doing the best. You can figure out what areas and what departments you guys are doing well in and what you aren't, and you can change it to your preferences, and you can figure out, what you guys need to work on and what's working for you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I do like this.
Great, sweet. So, is there any questions that you had today about what we went over? We had, we talked about those 3 big problems. Or any problems else? Any other problems that you guys were facing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously this is a pretty impressive system, and it seems pretty comprehensive and a good product. So I guess kind of my biggest concern would be, cost. This seems like a lot of features and a lot of support on your end. So I'm seeing some pretty big, invoices in the future.
Sure,
to go with this.
Of course.
So I'd like to talk some numbers if possible.
Yeah, sure. So a question I kind of want to gauge from you is, what do you think some of these obstacles that you've run into? I know we looked, from what you talked about at the symposium to what we're talking about now. What do you think that, what do you think these problems, what kind of deficits do you think it'll run you moving forward?
Between kind of the big things you talked about, going offline to upgrade servers, and having to pay people to kind of compile our data reports from each region. I say we could be running maybe a 0.5% to 1% deficit right now on some of these inefficiencies.
Sure. We went over your sales and from 2017, 2018, we're looking at your growth with a company this size at $109 billion. That 1% is going to cost you $1 billion. Looking at Salesforce, I kind of mapped out the pricing for what we'd be putting in. So if we had, we have an installation fee of about $70,000. We have about a $2,000 price for per unit or per Salesforce portal, and we had a about $100,000 maintenance fee per year. So if we do kind of some of the math on that, it looks like it's going to run you about $2.5 million right now, and then with those continual fees. But looking at that 1% deficit, if it's a 0.5%, even if it's a 0.5%, that's $500 million versus $2.5 million now. You can weigh those options if you want, but it seems like there might be Salesforce might be able to help you. Incur some of those losses.
I understand. It seems like a reasonable price for the features and the efficiency that we would get. So I guess kind of my next worry is all these features are great and stuff, but if it doesn't actually work for a company, none of this really matters. So I guess like you said earlier, we're a very specialized company. We're doing manufacturing and shipping and installation for custom projects. Do you feel like Salesforce is adequate to handle kind of our specialized needs in our field?
Yeah, that's a concern that a lot of the people I work with have. Every business is special and unique, so your company is going to be a little bit different than everyone else's. But we have worked with similar companies of both, both what you guys do, but also the size of the companies and the growth rate. We've worked with companies, that have all those kind of qualities. And like you said, we can make it very customizable to what you want. It's very, very tailored to what you'll need and how you want to operate your business. So the way someone else uses Salesforce is going to be different than the way you use Salesforce, but it'll operate for you in the way you want it. So I think, we've had some companies in the past that are very similar to yours that really enjoyed our product and the services that we provide for them. So if I can get a list of those companies if you'd like to talk to them,
yeah,
they'd be more than welcome to help you with those with your hesitation.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'd love some references. That'd
Yeah.
be great. And then I guess finally thing, not to be rude, but you're a pretty young guy. Do you feel confident about handling a $100 billion account? Do you have any personal experience?
Yeah. So
this size?
I've been working with Salesforce for about 3 years now, and I'm one of their top sales, or I have one of the top sales performances out of the people in my region. So I think and I've handled, like I said, similar sized companies before, and we've handled similar scope. So I think I have an understanding of what you guys might need and how to implement it and make sure it works for you guys. We also have a great team that will help service you if you have any questions, and we're going to be with you, every step of the way. So after we implement the system, if you have any questions, we have 24-hour help service. So if you have any questions at any time, we can help you out, and we're going to be more than willing to help you with anything you need. So I think we're, myself and my team and our company is going to be there for you 100%. And like I said, it's customizable. It'll be unique to you. So you guys are going to fall into the flow of things relatively quickly, and we can just help you with the kinks.
Okay, great. Well, I gotta say, it seems like a pretty impressive product. You seem to have a pretty good handle on how you can help us out in the implementation. I am going to want to talk to kind of our VP of sales for each region and see how they feel about it. And,
Sure.
If we could do some type of trial with some of our sales guys, make sure that they like it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that people actually
Yeah,
using it are comfortable.
We'd be able to help you out and do that.
Okay.
You get a trial and see if it works for you, and then so would you like to set up a date in the future where we can get together and
I'd
check that out, talk to some of your other the board or whoever you need to talk to about.
Yeah, I think we can
forward.
set up a meeting with probably the board and then our head of IT, Justin, and then probably a couple of VP of sales, get them together and put together kind of if you can do basically what you did today, but towards the whole audience. I think that would be good in convincing them.
Perfect, awesome.
I would say I'm fairly convinced, but I want to make sure all my people are happy.
Sure.
So
Awesome, thank you.
if you want to set it up next week, you can just talk to my secretary on the way
awesome.
out.
Yeah, sweet. Well,
put it
thank
together.
you for your time. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you coming in.
Yep, have a good one.
Yep, you too.